Hello, my name is Emily and I am a school librarian, and one of the things I love most about being a librarian is being able to preserve books to make them last longer and do it in the best economical way possible. So today I'm going to show you how to take a hardback book with a paper flyleaf, and I'm going to show you how to preserve the paper and put it back on the book so that it can last a little bit longer. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to actually take this off. And we're going to set the book aside. And I purchased this material from a library supply store. I purchased it from Denco, but there's also like Brodart and all kinds of different places you can get this kind of stuff. But basically what it is it comes in a big roll. This is 12 inches by like 300 feet. And you'll see that it has plastic on one side, paper on the other, and then it's like got a seam right here at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the book cover of the book, and I'm going to leave about an inch extra, and I'm basically going to pull, and I've got it all the way open, and I'm going to pull it along here, and then I'm going to cut just maybe 1 inch past where the book ends, because I just like having a little bit extra, because sometimes if you cut it too short, it doesn't work very well. So I'm going to cut it like that. All right, now I'm going to flip it over. So the shiny side is up. I'm going to lift this up. And I'm going to stick the book cover right up underneath said clear sheet. And then I'm going to take some paper clips, and I am going to keep it stable. I have done this without paper clips before, and unfortunately it slides all around and it doesn't work very well. So make sure that no white is showing and that you push it right up along the top. So I'm going to use 1 or 2 more clips just to be safe. All right, then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to take the paper side of this, and I'm going to fold it up until there's about an inch above where the book paper stops. And then where I folded that, I am going to cut So now I've cut that off, and I want to actually tape it down. So I'm just going to take some Scotch tape, and I always like to do right where the spine is, where the flap goes into the back, and where the flap goes into the front. So I'm going to make sure that I kind of make sure that this is flattened out, and the paper clips really help with that actually. All right, then I'm going to take the plastic piece and I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to either take a ruler, or this is called a boning, I'm not sure what it's called, but anyway, I'm going to take that and I'm going to crease plastic in place. And before I tape it, I'm going to flip it over and just make sure that it hasn't slid. So it's looking good. So now I'm going to tape the plastic. So I'm going to tape it up so that it won't move. All right, so now I can take my pins off, or my paper clips off, and now you're going to see that there's a natural fold where the fly leaf goes on the inside. So I'm going to take my ruler and I am going to make that pretty nice crease, and I'll show you why. Now you can see I've got that extra inch. Now that I've folded it over, I know exactly where it needs to be cut. So I'm going to now trim this extra inch off that side. Okay, I'm going to discard that. Now, please make sure that you put this book going the right direction. I have done that before where I've taped it and then it was upside down. So I'm going to put the cover, I've got the cover correctly. Here's, yep, I'm doing okay. All right, so, and then I'm going to actually do this back one as well. And I'm going to kind of pinch it with my fingers because I want it to be on there as tight as I can. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to crease this side as well. All right, once you've got a good crease there, you are going to cut the excess off. And I always do that because number one, I never cut straight. And number two, sometimes it just takes a little bit extra and you're not quite sure what's going to happen. So now that I have that, a lot of people just put the tape on from here on out. But I have found an extra trick that I feel like helps the book lay flatter, because right now you can kind of see it like bowing a little bit and it doesn't like lay as flat as it could. And so this is my extra trick. So what I do is I take my fingers and my thumb and I pinch it along the spine. Then I turn it over and I do the same thing on this side. Then I take it completely off again, and you can see that I now have creases where I pinched along the spine. So now I can take that crease, I can line the bottom up, I can align the top so that I make sure I'm going to get a straight crease. And then I am going to push down on it with my ruler. All right, so you can see how nice I've got that crease now. Now I'm going to take this other side and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to line this up really well. And then I'm going to take my ruler, and I've used a credit card before, basically anything with a hard edge. I like using a ruler because it's cheap and it works just fine. Okay, so now I've got a better fold, and you'll see that as I put this back on the book, you can see how much nicer that looks I've got this nice crisp edge, and it looks much better. Now, the last thing that you need to do with this book is we need to put tape to hold the cover to the book itself, because if not, it's just going to get lost. So I have this handy dandy tape dispenser that I love with all my heart, because I can put all different kinds of tape on it. Now this tape has kind of some fibrous stuff in it. I wouldn't just use any tape. I like to use the fibrous stuff or ones that have strands in it. It doesn't need to be very wide, but I really like having this kind of tape for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut probably at least 2 to 2.5 inches. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, now this is hard to see, but I'm going to lift up this top piece, and I'm going to put the tape right on the book. And then when I open it up, okay, I'm going to make sure that the tape is right here along the edge. So I'm going to make sure it's like right there. Okay, so the way I do that is I kind of like hold it with my finger and I can feel the edge right there. I'm going to lift it up with my thumb. I'm going to stick it in there onto the book. And then I'm going to make sure that it's really tight around the back. So you can see that I've attached it right there, and that is a little too close to the edge, so I'm going to actually fix that. I'm not happy with how that turned out, because it's just going to come off. You can see it already is trying. Okay. So the beauty is that it is fairly forgiving, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to move it over just a little bit more so that I can make sure that it adheres. And I'm going to wrap it around the edge. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing to the top, and this is the front of the book. Okay, lift up my thumb, fill the edge right there, wrap it around the book. Now that front cover is not going to come off. Okay, and then I do the same thing to the back. So you're going to actually do 4 pieces. So I'm going to lift it up. Okay, and you can see how tight I have that. If you have a little bubble, then I find when kids put it in their backpack and they have crumbs in there or whatever, that it just slides right under there, and it's not my favorite thing. So the tighter you can make it, the less mess you're going to have. So I lift this last one up. It's about 2 inches long. I am going to flip it around. And that is how you cover a hardback book with a fly leaf, or I'm not sure, anyway. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy doing this to your books like I have, and make it a great day and keep reading.